Welcome to Coaches Roundtable. I'm Ed Codi. To my right, the Swami George Abraham. To my left, the Tiger Albert Campman. Let's go to Spotlight. PIAA Swimming. There's a truckload of medals being bussed into Western Pennsylvania. I'm just impressed by the achievement of our swimmers for our schools in our area. It's been outstanding down through the years.
Getting better every year.
Every year.
Yeah.
And let's go start off with boys 2A and Luke Lamb, a North Catholic, gold medal in the 50 freestyle and the 100 backstroke. His time of 48.08 in the backstroke broke the state record set by his rival Joseph Roth of Riverside of 48.55 back in 2022. Roth, who finished second in the event, broke his own state record with a time of 48.34. Roth also won a silver in the 50 freestyle. What a great career for him, Albert.
I watched the race.
Did you?
Yeah, and you couldn't tell who won. You know how they get out of the water and they look up.
Yeah.
But both of them broke the record. Both of them. I mean, it's a state record, which is a great state.
Yeah.
Pennsylvania. That's how awesome Lamb and Roth were.
Lamb, just a tremendous year for him, and Roth coming away with WPIAL and PIAA with 4 silver medals to go with his other medals, the gold medals.
Yeah.
What a swimming career. We'll talk about him later in basketball. 3A boys, North Allegheny boys finished third in team scoring. The 400 relay team placed fifth. Grant Regule was 10th in the 100 freestyle. And Isaiah Clarkley of Seneca Valley, how about this? A gold medal in diving. Great swimming career for Isaiah. And girls 2A, Giona Lavarini of Knock, a gold medal in the 100-yard breaststroke for the junior. She'll be back next year looking to set some records of her own in the WPIAL and state. And the swimming Schreckengoss sisters of Freeport, junior Kira and freshman Casey, they brought a bunch of medals back home with them. Kira earned 4 medals as a member of the 400 free relay team. That was 7th. The 200 medley relay, that was 3rd. She had a silver in the butterfly, and she was 7th in the individual medley. Freshman Casey, also a member of the relay teams, she earned a 3rd medal, 5th in the 100 backstroke. The Freeport girls finished 7th in scoring, and that's just 4 girls that made the trip, along with the Schreckengoss sisters, Marianne Altman and Isabella Barton. And in District 10 2A, a swimming championship, the Slippery Rock High School girls, they set a new school record in the 400 relay. I want to mention them again. Season Grant, Maddie Gosselman, Molly Masella, and Rayleigh Fajon. Great year for them also. And in girls 3A, North Allegheny girls won their 2nd straight PIAA title. Natalie Sens, she won a gold medal in the 100 backstroke. And in diving, Julie Hood, she won a silver. Lola Malarkey, she won a bronze. And Maggie Lapina, she finished 10th. And the Seneca Valley girls 200-yard medley relay team, they placed 8th. In basketball, boys 4A, second round, North Catholic 76, Avonworth 60. Max Hurry had 37, but in the quarterfinals against Lincoln Park, it was Lincoln Park 89, North Catholic 74. Max Hurry finishes with 30, Jude Rotman with 20. What a great career for Max Hurry. The Trojans finished 18-10. A great year for them and Coach Jim Rocco. Just ran into a real tough team in Lincoln Park.
You couldn't say it any better. Normal years, they'd be playing in the state. They
yes.
keep going. But you're not beating Lincoln Park.
And in the second round, Hampton 50, Johnstown 48, Peter Kramer 21 points and the game-winning free throws. Next up for Hampton 24-4. They take on Lincoln Park 26-3.
Lincoln Park won't.
They got beat.
Oh, they get beat. Yeah. I missed that. Didn't see that score. Yeah, that was late last night. Mohawk 55, Elwood City 50, Joseph Roth 29 for his career. Just aside from the swimming and all the gold and silver medals, he finishes with 2,109 points, a record that may never be beaten at Elwood City. He's 27th all-time WPIAL, and throw in close to 1,200 rebounds for his career. Elwood City, a great year. They finished 18-8. So Roth with some WPIAL championships in swimming, a basketball WPIAL championship. What a great career for him. Any word where he's headed, Albert?
No, Big Ten, I'm still hearing.
Indiana, Ohio State.
Yeah, that's all I'm hearing. But
swimming, right?
Swimming, for sure.
Hey, how about this? All these people that we come across that break these scoring records use the 3 ball A lot. He's not a 3-ball shooter, is he, Al?
Not a lot.
That's what I'm saying.
He can hit it. He can hit
inside,
it.
but he's
But
an
he didn't
inside
make that kind
scorer.
of-
He
numbers.
scores
Yeah.
around the basket more.
Yeah, that's most everyone. When we hear someone hits 2,000 or breaks a scoring record, they're using the 3-ball a
points.
lot.
And in girls basketball, in the 6A second round, North Penn 56, North Allegheny 54 in overtime. Lydia Betts with 21, Caroline Henderson 19. North Allegheny finishes 23-4. Great year for the WPIAL champs. And 4A second round, North Catholic 59, Warren 32, Elena Rocco, she had 19. Lauren Mims, she had 16, and Lauren Reeds had 12. And in the quarterfinals, while missing 61, North Catholic 46. Elena Rocco finishes her career, she said, at the Harbor with 20. Brady Wayner with 11. Lauren Reeds with 10. The Trojanettes finished 19-8. And the WPIAL championship to go along with another great year for Coach Molly Rodman.
Yeah, they'll be good again next year, too, because a couple of those kids you just mentioned are back.
Wayner's coming back,
Yeah.
and I think Reeds is coming back also. And next up for Wild Missing, they're 28-0. They take on Blackhawk 25-3.
Yeah, Blackhawk want their very best to beat that team.
And Pennsylvania Junior Wrestling Tournament, Seneca Valley 7th grader Mimi Skolonsky, she won the 112-pound state title. So I'm sure we're going to be hearing from her in the years to come. And in college baseball on a day when it's snowing and cold, Slippery Rock University pitchers Joey Purcell and Michael Kitko, they combined on a 9-inning no-hitter, 5-0 win over St. Anselm. Let's go to our stories of the week. Has there ever been a more exciting offseason in the NFL than was going on this year, with over $2 billion spent on free agents?
$2 billion.
$2 billion spent on free agents. It's unbelievable. And let's start with the exciting what's going on with the Steelers. Restructuring the roster. Goodbye to yesteryear. First, Russell Wilson to that one-year deal, $1.2 million. It's a steal, as we talked about. The Denver has to pay him, $39 million this year. So he has 1 year. And a huge deal, signing free agent linebacker. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think signing Patrick Queen to a 3-year, $41 million deal. He's just 24 years old, an all-pro middle linebacker, is just as big, if not bigger, than signing Wilson.
For the Steelers, it is. They can't find a linebacker. They haven't been able to find one.
Ever since Ryan Shazier went down.
Yes.
And then the trade, Kenny Pickett to the Eagles for the number 98 overall pick, 2024 draft, and 2 7th-round picks in 2025. The Eagles also get the number 120 overall pick in this year's draft. Now let me say something. Trubisky's going to Buffalo. Mason Rudolph signs with Tennessee. I don't know any other time in the NFL where a team, all 3 quarterbacks were gone after the season. Has that ever happened before?
Tells you they didn't have one.
Yeah. Let me say this. Those people say Pickett wasn't given a fair chance. It's not true. He started 24 games. He was 14-10 as a starter, 13 TDs, 13 interceptions, never comfortable as a pocket passer. But in his defense, let me say this. He was hyped up so much. This was Mike Tomlin's pick. And from Tomlin to Art Rooney, he was built up. I don't think he could have met those expectations. In my opinion, I think they should have waited and not started him off in that first year. It was a big mistake.
Well, when you draft somebody number 1, though, the pressure's on you to get that guy.
Should he have been a number 1?
No.
George doesn't think so. George said it all along. He didn't think he was.
Talk about a reach. When was the next quarterback picked? In the 3rd round?
Yeah.
Come on.
And this was a guy that Tomlin was comfortable with, and I'm not blaming
Did he just
Tomlin.
say in February we have our guy here?
They asked him about bringing in a new quarterback. He said we have our guy here and Pickett. So when they said Pickett was pouting and unhappy about bringing in, why would you be happy about it? It sounds to me like he felt he was blindsided on the deal.
That's
the
job.
NFL. That's the way it goes.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, what do you say?
I'm not
It's
feeling
business,
sorry for
right?
anybody.
No, I'm not feeling sorry for anyone. But to say that he shouldn't have been unhappy is ridiculous.
He's a competitor. He's been like that his whole life.
Right.
What Favre say? It's not my job to train him.
Now, here's the question I'm asking. Why wouldn't you try to sign Mason Rudolph? You were 7-7, dead in the water. He led you to 3 straight wins and took you into the playoffs. he signed for $3.6 million with Tennessee. He's going to be a backup to Will Levis. Why not try to give him a 2-year deal, $4 million a deal? He's familiar with the Steelers. He's there. Why wouldn't you bring him back? I don't get that.
When they know they get Fields, that's why.
Well, yeah, that's true.
My gosh, that's the deal.
Well, we're gonna.
I don't know what they're gonna do though.
Yeah,
Well, that's what I'm saying.
let me before we get to him. They send wide receiver Deontay Johnson to Carolina for corner Dante Jackson. Then they acquire free agent safety Deshaun Elliott. Then they traded, here we go, for quarterback Justin Fields for a conditional 6th-round pick in 2025. It could bump up to maybe a 4th round depending on how much he plays. So what's behind all this change with the Steelers? It's not Tomlin. And it's not Omar Khan. This is coming from the top, from Art Rooney, and I'm hearing his son Dan, who played football at Dartmouth, who's worked in every department in the organization. He's very aggressive. He's going to take over in a year or two. He's been pushing his dad to make these changes. So we'll see what happens with it. Wilson, a 1-year deal. Fields, supposed to be the backup. He has 1 year left on his rookie contract. They paid him $18.9 million.
Interesting. I heard yesterday, too, something I didn't tell Al. I forgot. The odds for the MVP, they're both large, but Fields' are less than Wilson's.
Now, that surprised me. He's the better quarterback.
Yeah,
that's what I don't understand.
Yeah.
Remember, I'm saying I'm a big Fields guy, real huge Fields guy. I know he's better than Wilson. It's going to be interesting what happens there.
How long?
You make a valid point there. Is he going to be comfortable sitting on a bench, Fields?
They must.
Are they going to use him in the red zone?
I don't know what they're going to do. I have no idea.
Got to give him some packages, right?
I would think so.
Hey, don't forget they have no center, no offensive lineman, and no receivers.
And they need a defensive end, a defensive tackle, and
they need a lot of things.
Yeah. Now let me ask you something.
But they took the big parts apart.
Yeah,
they got the linebacker. Yeah. And
they were 10-7. They were not 4-14.
Now let me ask you something. So they bring Wilson in, and people said to me, "Oh, this is what are they going to do with him?" I said, "Well, let me ask you something. If he takes them to the playoffs and wins a game, and then he says, I want a 2-year, $40 million deal, and they don't sign him, why'd you bring him in?"
They're not signing him, I don't think. I really don't.
Okay, but if he gets you a playoff win.
Yeah. Oh, I know that, but I just don't think I think he's a 1-year wonder here. That's what I believe.
Well, how about the other guy? He needs 25 the next year.
Yeah, he's going to want.
That's why they can't sign both of them.
Can't sign both.
Okay,
and one of them's 35, and the other, how old's Fields?
Fields 25.
That's what I'm saying. That's the difference.
Yeah. Well, Wilson's going to be 36 now. Fields, let's look at it. I know it's Chicago. 10-28 as a starter. 40 TDs, 30 interceptions, 1 300-yard game in 40 games, and 38 starts. 40 touchdown passes, but he throws a lot to the other guys. He averaged 166 yards of passing. He had the lowest percentage completion rate, lower than Pickett, 60.3%. His best year, 2022, this is what you like about him, 2,200 yards rushing and 1,100 passing, 1,143 yards rushing. Dual threat.
Yeah, I'm going naked eye. That's what I'm going by. What he can do is so athletic, has a gun, not super accurate, but accurate enough. And he was playing at Chicago, which had 1.5 guys.
Right. Now he's another guy. He likes to roll out and throw on a run. He likes to do that. But
he can do everything. He can really do everything. He's just not a truly great. He's a lot like a mini Jackson, who's not real accurate.
Okay.
He's not real accurate.
Now let me say this. What you guys think? They're setting the table for Tomlin. The pressure now goes not just from Wilson and the other people they've acquired, but now it goes to Tomlin. Here, we set the table for you. As Art Rooney said at the end of the season, he's tired of not winning a playoff game. They had 0-5 since 2016. Is the pressure ratcheted up on Tomlin?
I probably is. I mean, he handles it really well, though. So I don't.
I'm not questioning that.
No, I'm thinking it's an automatic. I think it's pressure on every coach in America.
Yeah,
we just happen to be living in Pittsburgh, so we cover them heavy.
Yeah.
So
no pressure at all. Not one bit of pressure.
Okay,
he's there for life. It's been proven in the last 5 years. He's not going anywhere.
Yeah,
I think it would change if in a year or two, when Dan Rooney takes over for his father. I think that would change. Now,
how many coaches have they had in 50 years?
Oh, yeah, that's true. Now, with all the changes with the Steelers and the excitement that they're bringing, I'm glad they're changing, doing things. It's not like the rest of the division is standing still.
Their 3 teams are still better.
Derrick Henry goes to Baltimore, and Cleveland picks up 2 quarterbacks, Jameis Winston, Tyrod Huntley, Nyheim Hines, a running back I always like, and Jerry Jeudy from Denver, a wide receiver. So they're not standing still.
And that's the part. I'm glad you brought it up.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh's still the 4th-rated team in that league. You understand? As good as they get better, the odds are Pittsburgh 4th. Yeah. They're not. They didn't move up to 1st.
You know what? Cleveland is to the point with me where I'll have to see it.
Oh, I believe it
them
too.
Pick 10 wins, win the division, this, that. They'll have to show me. The other 2 I know can be dangerous.
Yeah, by getting Zach Moss, trading Mixon, Cincinnati did. They're going to get some draft picks. I believe they signed a safety too. The question is, Boyd is sitting there, wide receiver. Everyone thinks he's going to be a Steeler, but where's the money coming from?
Yeah, that's it. It's a money thing.
And since he's loaded with receivers,
now,
they're not worried if they lose Boyd.
Let me ask you guys. He was a 3 in Cincinnati. Is he a 2?
He's really a 3, but that's what he is.
If he comes to Pittsburgh, he might be a 2.
He might, but he shouldn't be.
Yeah,
they need somebody else on. Okay,
yeah,
be ahead of him.
One thing, there's receivers in the draft.
Big time.
Loaded. And we're going to talk about that in a couple weeks. Hey, by the way, and all the praise for Omar Khan and Tomlin in these deals. Okay, I give Khan credit for doing this, but like I said, the impetus for this is coming from the top. But I'm dismayed that some of the criticism of Kevin Colbert is absurd. Criticize him. Let's see. Who'd he draft? David DeCastro, All-Pro guard. Marquise Pouncey, All-Pro center. Antonio Brown, All-Pro wide receiver. Cam Hayward, J.T. Watt, Highsmith, Najee Harris, George Pickens, Minka Fitzpatrick in a trade. Le'Veon Bell, Freiermuth, Bosworth. Why is he getting criticized now? Because he didn't get a premier quarterback? People are quick to jump and forget to what he did when he was GM.
They just like to criticize. That's all I see. It's, listen to our show. Our show, we get them every week too. It's just an automatic. That's the sports world. You don't say, "Boy, nice job." It's easy to say, "What's wrong with them?" And that's Pittsburgh fans at its fullest.
Yeah, they forget.
Yeah,
in a hurry. All right, let's move on. College basketball and the story in Pittsburgh, a great story. Duquesne, first NCAA bid in 47 years, winning the A-10 title, 57-51 over VCU with a stellar defense, which they needed after having a 36-22 halftime lead. They went absolutely cold in the second half, only 4 points in the first 10 minutes, but they hung on with some key plays, key rebounding, and win. Just a great season for them, 24-11 after they started 0-5 in the A-10. Now they go to the big dance and they'll face 11th seeded, or they're 11th seeded. They'll face 6th seeded BYU. And Coach Keith Dam brought 115-96. You say, well, that's not a great record. You look at his predecessors and what they did at Duquesne, and his record is significant, how he's turned his program around and made it relevant again. He's going to retire at the end of this season. He lost his father this year, and his wife's dealing with breast cancer.
Yeah, they did it the right way, and they did it defensively.
Yes.
Because the reason they have losses, that game you described where they went scoreless, they did that many times this year, and they couldn't win the games.
Yes,
their defense really came alive and kept them in games. No
they were told by the league, do something with this program or get out of the league about 10 years ago.
Yeah,
they built a new place. They put some money in. The guy was, I think he's not making $1 million. Now that a lot of people that have a real job roll their eyes, but that's no money in major college basketball.
No, and they're not in the same category as even Pitt with names, image, and likeness, but they're bringing in some pretty good players, as you can see.
Glad you brought that up.
The kid from Czechoslovakia.
That's the only way you can continue because they'll lose their good players.
Yeah. Right.
See, if they don't, right now, I guarantee it. Coaches are calling Duquesne about two of their players.
You
right
guys
now.
will love this. St. Francis had a kid 2 years ago. They happened to hit gold with him at 6'10". First team All-League, left after 1 year, went to UMass. Made first team this year, UMass left again. The guy said he made 2 fan bases mad.
And he made lots of money.
Absolutely.
Well, let's not turn to Pitt. No NCAA bid and no team no to an invite, I should say, from the NIT. They beat Wake 81-69. They lost to North Carolina 72-65 in the ACC tournament. Jeff Capel said no to the NIT. It's the best interest of our student athletes.
Oh.
What does this mean? Is this a petty
He didn't use
turn
that
down?
word. He didn't use that word, did he?
Bad mistake.
I agree 100%.
They could have got all these practices in.
4 or 5 more wins.
5 more games.
Especially when Bob says he's coming back.
They could have had big crowds for if they got Penn State or somebody in there to play.
Absolutely.
I talked about
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Why not want to add an NIT trophy to your trophy
And
case?
we've skipped something here we have to get into. The schedule cost them the bid. Who made the schedule? Was it Capel or Heather? There's no blame ever passed around.
Great point. Instead of playing North Carolina A&T, had they played Duquesne, it might have turned into be a quad 1 win.
Yeah, they'd be
there.
Yeah. Their schedule is so pathetic.
Albert Redby is their wins
Lost
the
to
other day.
Missouri.
And plus, you had the loss to Missouri. But I'm talking about the wins are no. It's me. It's you. Us three.
Canisius.
Play, it's
Canisius.
right
And
down the line.
those 30-point losses to Duke
That didn't
and
help
Wake
either.
Forest, that didn't help them at all.
Saying that,
Yeah.
I think their team should have been in the tournament.
I think they should have been too. I
yes.
think they're just as good as Clemson.
I don't
Just
think
as good
Virginia
as
should be in there.
Virginia
I
is
don't think
terrible.
Virginia- I don't think
Virginia,
Terrible
Michigan
offensive
State, both
team.
because if I think you guys just did something good here. You mentioned if you say they should be in, you have to have someone to bring out.
Virginia's
I
the
think
one
Virginia,
for me.
Michigan State. What it's like
Michigan
Izzo's
State
supposed to be
19
there.
and 14.
Why is Izzo supposed
I-
to?
15 losses.
Well, they give because the Big Ten's rated higher than the ACC this year. I'm not sure. I think Pitt got snubbed.
I do.
But on the other hand, listen, Jamie Dixon left Pitt, went to TCU his second year. He took his team to the NIT, no complaints, felt he had a good team, and he won the NIT.
Yes.
That helped his program,
No doubt.
helped his recruiting. I just don't understand them turning this down. You know,
6 teams did it. 6
Yeah.
teams thinks they're better than
And
they
you
are.
know what?
wouldn't they've had a home game
Hey,
too?
Yes.
Oh, they'd had 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Hey,
They'd have been a top seed,
yeah.
right?
They had 1, 2, or
And I
3
think-
home games. Probably 2, maybe 3. The other thing is, too, when did Mississippi and St. John's become basketball powers? I could see in the old days if Nebraska football didn't go to the minor
Orange Bowl.
Yeah, but not.
Right.
When are they that good?
It's mind-boggling that they turned this down, and I don't know what he means in the best interest of the student athletes at all. Now, Bob
They have to
Carrington.
count their money.
Somebody who's not doesn't follow it, but we laugh at that word.
Well, where's
Student
Heather?
athletes.
Where's Heather Light stepping up?
Student athletes.
Where's Heather Light stepping up to say, "Hey, guys, we're going to go to this NIT"? While the players didn't want to go, maybe Capel would say, "What? They didn't want to go?"
Well, that tells you they shouldn't be in the tournament.
Yeah.
If I was a competitor, and that's
Right.
what we all were,
And the
you
players-
want to play.
Yes.
You want to play. I don't care. Where's the next game at the playground?
Yeah,
No,
we'll
you just
be
want to
there.
play.
Well,
Yeah,
let's
that's
look
right.
at the reality next year. Bob Carrington says he's coming back. All right. Henson made $450,000 this year. Carrington and Lowe, as freshman guards, made $75,000. You're going to jack that way
big
up.
time.
They're each going to want $250,000, if not more.
It's already there for him. He wouldn't
it's
be
there.
saying he's coming back.
Well, they probably said to him, "Hey, we're going to give you Henson like money. You're going to get
Oh, yeah,
$450,000
no doubt.
next year." And Federico, and the Graham brothers, they're going to get
They're getting something, too.
$250,000. They got $150,000 each this year.
Don't
Just
think they
to
won't
show-
have 3 new players in there making money too. There's 3 new players coming. Let's understand that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
They're gonna, like I told you.
How
if
many's in
you-
the portal
if
right now?
You want to be a supporter? Just give $20,000 a year.
That's what they asked
yeah.
for.
That's what they ask for, minimum.
Yes.
$20,000 a year, and you get to sit behind the team and have a hot dog with Capel sometime.
I think there's 200 in the portal already.
You two guys can do that. I'm sure.
Yeah, I would want to.
You
I
know,
can't believe this is not, but they has to pull that old student athlete word out.
And
Please.
here's the coming storm with the Dartmouth players forming a union, going to union. Other schools, it's just going to fall into place, which means now they might say, well, I shouldn't have this 8 o'clock class on a day after we play a game. I should have a 10 o'clock class. I need to sleep in or something.
Oh, is that funny?
No, this stuff's going to happen. And then they're going to have their union rep come in and talk to the athletic director. Well, this training table, there aren't enough Omaha steaks here.
I'm just laughing.
I'm telling you.
There were people, Eddie, talking to George and I and you that said this ain't going to make a difference in college sports.
Yeah, no, like that. No, it won't affect recruiting.
Are they
Guy said to
kidding?
us one day, he
Are
said,
they
this won't
kidding?
affect recruiting.
Oh, he really said that.
The union people are lining up, waiting. They're going to represent
jeez.
them. Their union lawyers just willing to dig in.
Hey, don't forget there are union dues, kids.
Yeah. Hey, March Madness, number 1 seeds, UConn, number 1 overall in the East, and then North Carolina in the West. Houston, disappointing loss to Iowa State, held to 41 points. Was that a shocker?
Awful.
And Purdue, Midwest, another flub for them, losing to Wisconsin. Who's going to win it all?
Well, if you, I have Auburn winning it, but they got put in Connecticut's
Tough
bracket,
bracket.
so they have to win an extra game to get there.
Hey, my sleepers are Creighton and McNeese State.
Yeah, good
McNeese
pick.
State's 30-1, and Creighton's got some
Hey,
players.
this
boy.
Will Wade, he must know how to cheat with the best
He knows
of
how to
them.
get players.
He's there again. If they
Yeah.
threw him
He
out,
said it. They lost 23 last game.
listen what they told
He
him.
said, "I'll win 23 next year."
He won
Yeah.
30.
Yeah.
He went out and got
I know.
brand new players.
Hey,
That's what
March
he do.
Madness coming to Pittsburgh. John Calipari coming back with Kentucky. They're going to play Oakland. That's not Oakland and Pittsburgh. Yes, Oakland.
Well, they have to win because
Michigan.
I'm going down Saturday because
Are you?
my grandson loves Dillingham for Kentucky.
Oh,
and
great.
we're going to try to go early and see him because he's a big Calipari fan.
And just as exciting, I can't wait to watch the women's. The top seed, number 1 overall, undefeated South Carolina, 32-0. Then you have Iowa and Caitlin Clark and USC. What a year they've had in Texas. Looking forward to watching a lot of those games too.
Yeah, look out for Nebraska. I really like Nebraska's team.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, that's it for us. We ran out of time. We'll see you next week.
Armstrong has been a part of Butler County for over 60 years. We've run hundreds of miles of high-speed fiber, and we're not stopping. Your internet, television, and telephone connectivity is backed by a team of local technicians who are backed by their local office, who is backed by our 24/7 network operations team, as well as our 24/7 customer service center. Can the other guys say that? We didn't think so. Armstrong. Unmatched employees, unmatched technology, unmatched fiber network.
eXp Stream is the best way to get all your TV in one place. Miss the beginning of a program or forgot to record? Look for the Start Over icon and restart it up to 72 hours later. eXp Stream from Armstrong. Streaming solved.